Hey guys, what's going on? This is Cavion, here with vlog episode number 2. So I recorded this already, but then I looked back at it and it was a little choppy and extremely long. And I realized that there were some things that I needed to fix as far as timing was concerned. And yeah, so here we are. If you are liking what I'm doing here with these vlogs, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that goodness. And yeah, welcome. So, in the last vlog, right? In the last vlog, we talked about how things are as far as the dating scene in 2020, especially for me, and a couple of stories I had with how I've seen things work with women nowadays, and it's not really something I'm with. I'm not for it. I'm not on board with it. Um, it's been a hard learned lesson to see that I need to change my approach. And like I said in the last video, it's something that I learned when I was a teenager, but I had to learn it again because it was on a new level that I discovered some things. But anyway, this episode I want to talk about what's going on as far as like it being September, right? It's still September 1st. As I said in the last video, I wanted to record another because I'm enjoying these videos I'm doing. So, September is Suicide Prevention Month, right? And I figured I wanted to talk about that as well as how it relates to how my music relates to having suicidal thoughts sometimes, which I've had before. Um, so yeah, in music, right? Or I shouldn't say in music, in business, there are two types of there are two different types of financial fluctuations, for lack of a easier term, I guess. So you have liabilities and assets. A liability is something that you buy that depreciates or loses value over time. And an asset is something um, that increases in its value, or I guess appreciates uh, over time. So an example would be um, a MacBook, right? I have a MacBook 2017 that I got this year, and it's 2020, so it's still good for what I needed to do. It's still fairly recent, fairly new. However, the last MacBook I had before this was a 2009 MacBook, and obviously there is a difference. Those MacBooks used to be black and or white. Um, the storage space was much smaller. There's a CD drive still, Um, the ports obviously look much different, and yeah, so that is a liability. My old MacBook was a liability because it depreciated over time. You However, something like my guitar that I bought, I'm sorry, that I built. I built my guitar 6 years ago, right? And if you look, you can see it says it right there, Cecilia. That's her name, 2014. Now, I built this back then, and it cost about $1,200, but it's an asset because I'm still able to make money from this one thing. You know, um, I've learned how to maintain it, how to keep maintenance of it, because I used to work as a guitar tech, and and yeah, I've been able to play a bunch of shows using this one guitar. I don't have another electric guitar that I use. Um, I've I've been able. I got both of my jobs that I have now um, from me playing my guitar in the subway for about a year. So uh, definitely an asset. It's definitely brought in more money than it costs to get or to make. So, I'm starting off with that because I want you to understand my mindset and the mindset that I've had over the past 4 years, and how there have been suicidal thoughts that I've had over those 4 years, um, due to the struggles I had. So, 2016, I had a great show that I did on January 4th, my first real like live gig, and I had everyone come out. You know, I had all my friends come out, family came out. They enjoyed it. You know, they got some free swag, as as Michael Scott would say. Swag stands for stuff we all get. Uh, office reference, the Office reference. But yeah, so they got some free swag. Um, got to see the show. It was free also. It was exclusive swag, so definitely was motivation and incentive to come. And yeah, it was a good start, despite the way that the year went in general. Um, I had a toxic environment that I was living in, so I chose to not have anywhere to live. And I was playing my guitar, in the subway, like I said, and spent most of that year not having a job, because I spent 1 year focused on my music. And throughout those trying months and that trying time, I definitely had stress and felt overwhelmed with stuff because I was thinking of my music in a different way. I was thinking of my music, the way that these record labels think of music. As a business venture, right? As a as an investment in something. That's why you have labels who will give an advance, right, for to an artist for creating their music. Recording time, making music videos, marketing and promotion, radio play, stuff like that. And that's all. That's all from the business side. So if that artist does not deliver, if they can't bring in a good ROI, which is a return on investment, to the label, then they end up being indebted to the label some hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes millions of dollars, and that artist really has no way to pay them back. Excuse me. And what's worse is that these artists now have no control or say over their music being made anymore. So there are a lot of artists out there right now who cannot make any more music because they are tied into a record label, or they are contractually obligated to not make it. They're told they can't because they're held by a contract. So I had that 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 business mindset of like, okay, I know that I don't want a label to invest in me. I don't want to sign to a label because I know they're not always the nicest to the artists, and the artists get screwed over a lot. And I know that if I'm going to be successful in this music business, which I intend to, plan to, work towards, I know that I'm going to need to, learn the business stuff that I don't want to learn, so that way I don't have to struggle and worry about whatever happens later on, right? So I spend most of 2016 playing my guitar and learning, the entry-level stuff of music business. I signed up to PRO, which is a publishing performance rights organization, right? You have different ones. You have a bunch of them. Depends on where you live. If you live in Europe, I think it's CSAC. Oh no, I'm sorry. I think it's Canada. It's CSAC. For here in America, it's BMI or ASCAP. and I think there might be another one, but there are a lot. It depends. You just gotta look it up. Depends on where you live. So when you um, when you do that, right? Uh, when you find out about these performing rights organizations and you sign up to one, you learn something uh, called publishing. You learn about publishing, right? And it, that's for another video. I'll do another vlog on like the breakdown of those and like what happens and everything like that. Um, yeah. So that's the um, that's the stuff I was learning. And in learning that, I learned that the people who I was hoping to have help me or give me a guiding hand or a helping hand, they weren't. They're very discouraging, very dismissive of me. They just weren't believing in me. They didn't have that belief that I could really make something of this, that I could do something, you know. And I was I was very distraught by that. I was very depressed by it, because I knew that I had a plan. I knew that I had spent what since I was old enough to work, I had spent my years working at jobs that I didn't like, most of the time jobs I hated, just to make money, which was good. When you first get a job, you make money, it feels good. You could go buy stuff, do stuff, not have to wait for your family to give you money. That's always good. But because I had taken the time to say, you know what, it's 2016. I'm 25 years old. I'm going to be 26. I've been working a job since I was like 14, 15. Technically even earlier, because I actually used to be a paper boy. Like I would sell the newspaper to like the barber shops and like neighbors or whoever, like to make my money. So I've been working for over 10 years, more or less. So I was like, you know what? I need to spend this time on me, for my music, for my passion, because that's what I want to do. So for everyone who knew how important my music was to me, and I knew that people knew how important it was to me because most of them, I shouldn't say most, a lot of them were at that first show, I would think I'd get a little more help. But I didn't. And I knew, or I know now, that I didn't have all the answers. I didn't have all the resources, but it was discouraging, and it really did make me feel depressed, and I did have suicidal thoughts a few times. I was just like, well, all this hard work that I put in, all the time that I've sacrificed, that people know I've sacrificed for, trying to be, you know, the best version of myself possible. The time that I sacrificed for other people to be supportive of them in the best way I could, where was the where's the love, where's the reciprocation, but yeah, it ended up not being that. So I was left feeling alone, and it made me very, very confused, very upset, because I didn't understand why I wouldn't get the help that I needed, and it made me decide, I don't need the help. It made me decide, what, it doesn't need to be this. It doesn't need to be uh, a handout. It didn't have to be me begging. I don't want it to be me begging for something. And I already had a mindset of being as self-sufficient as I possibly could. So feeling, not even being, feeling as if I was not being backed, by the people that I thought should or would back me, Um, it made me be even more reclusive, and just say, you know what, I don't even have to worry about it. I had a show with a band, it was great, it was fun, but I'll just do it myself. I'll learn how to do the instruments or learn how to produce. I'll learn all the skills that I need to learn, however long it's going to take me, and do it myself because it's just like it's just disheartening, when there are people that can help you but don't, or when there are people that see you need help and instead of trying to help you or trying to steer you in the right direction to be helped, they decide to hurt you. So I was left feeling very, very alone. And I've grown to love my own company. I mean, I always loved my own company, but I learned to not like to be around people. I learned to not like people a lot, and it sucks because I used to love. I mean, I still love people, but I used to like people. I used to be like, yeah, I like people. Like, people are cool. Like, I have no problem with people. And then, I went through my struggles, and I was just like, yeah, I don't really like people anymore. And it sucks because I really did. I really did used to like people. I still love people. Never want to see anything bad happen to a person. A decent person, a good person out there, they don't deserve to be treated the way that people are treated now. But yeah, if I had a choice to be around people or not, I'd rather not. And it sucks because it's not a way to go through life. It's not. And I'm learning to be a little more around people. I think I just really don't like being around people anymore. But I'm relearning how to be around people. But that's because of the struggle that I went through, mostly through 2016, and the years after that, and it definitely led me to be putting on this mask or facade out of necessity because I didn't want to have people ask me if I'm okay, because at the time when I wasn't okay, I feel like that's when they could have asked, and it's just like, instead of me saying, oh yeah, I'm actually really not doing that well because of this, and that, instead of me doing that and then them saying, oh, okay, I just say, yeah, I am okay. And in all honesty, yeah, I'm not lying. I am saying, like, I'm considering everything that's going on in the world, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, all things considered, yeah, I'm doing okay. Because I know there are people that are doing worse off than me. But am I doing okay in relation to me? No. But you don't care, so I'm not going to waste my time expressing to you that I'm not okay just for you to ask. I've learned over the last few years that most people only want to know if you're okay in relation to them. In other words, like, someone will ask you how you're doing, and they want you to do good, just never better than them. If you're doing better than them, then they have an issue with you. But if you're doing good, if you're doing good at the same level they're doing or less, then there's not any envy there. Or I shouldn't say any, because there are people that are on the same level as another person and are still jealous, but they just don't want you to do better than them. So my way of coping with that is with that loneliness is playing my guitar. Excuse me. Now, I'm not the best singer in the world by any means. Um, so instead of me feeling like I'm burdening people uh, with my vocals, my bad vocals, I would just play my guitar in the subway and not sing. And I was able to find my skills at the guitar and really create some beautiful instrumentals from my from my lack of feeling listened to, or feeling like someone would actually care to listen if something was going on with me. So, in general, in hindsight, it was good. It definitely helped me to become a better guitar player. It helped me to understand um, the nuances of simplicity when it comes to music. It helped me to understand myself as a person, and it helped me, be a little more confident in the sense of I knew what I wanted to do with my life, and I didn't give up on my dreams or my goals. And that's how I'm able to sit here and talk to you, knowing that it is my sacrifices and my struggles back then that made it possible for me to sit here in my room and relax now, like I said in my last video. But, yeah, my outlet, thankfully, was my music. My music, whether it be my own music or like the music that I have on my phone, I was and am able to express myself through that. But I also know that not everyone has that ability, to really connect with something creative like that, for whatever reason, and I know that it's hard to um, allow that connection to happen because of what's going on in your life. So I want you to know that if there is anything that's going on, I want you to know that there is an outlet, there is an alternative to you just holding on to all of that going on, and I know that it can be a trust issue. I do not trust people to have my best interests at heart. So I do know that for some of you watching this who may go through what I went through, you might have a hard time getting to this point, but it's not something to be ashamed of. I know that I have, like I said, I have trust issues, I have shortcomings that I myself don't have the answers for. I don't have the greatest answers for all the time. I'm able to hold myself accountable. I have no problem with that. But sometimes it's not that easy to make that change. But one thing at a time. So like my vlogs, I'm doing this. This is something new. I don't do this. But one thing at a time, So if you are dealing with these suicidal thoughts or have had them in the past and feel that they might be coming up again or that they're unresolved, I would say you contact the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. I will leave the number and the link to them in the description below. And I want you to know that it's okay. You are allowed to feel however you feel, right? And I'm not going to tell you that there are people out there who are going to understand, because what you are going through is what you are going through. But I can tell you that there are people who are willing to listen, you know, and sometimes that's all we need, you know. Sometimes all we need is just a listening ear, you know, or just someone to be there without saying anything, you know. It doesn't have to always be about a solution, or finding a solution. Sometimes the solution is just being there and listening. So I want you to take this time to reach out to them if you can, and express yourself, like 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 a little penguin from Happy Feet, like he said, you know, you let it out, you let it out, you know. You're allowed to feel how you feel, and no one can tell you how you should feel about what's going on with you. But before you take any ultimate action, you know, reach out to them first. You know, they might have um, they might have something, an alternative, like, way to look at something, a new perspective on something that you didn't know about. So, or, you know, maybe it's just to listen, like I said. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. This is, like I said, second vlog. It's still September 1st of 2020. I'm liking doing these, so I'm going to be doing them more. If you like what I've got going on here, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good jazz. And stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe, and yeah, take care.